Hello, beautiful and exotic women of the world. So, I want to talk about how there are women out here who do things and almost everything in their life specifically for the male gaze. And when they come across someone like you who may not be as male-centered, or maybe you aren't male-centered at all, and you really do a lot of the things in your life for you, they are almost uncomfortable by your presence and almost intimidated and annoyed with you. Now, we all know the difference between a very male-centered woman and a woman who is centered around herself. The male-centered woman tends to be a pick-me. She tends to be someone who has a weak will, who is willing to do any and everything to keep or have a man, and her whole value and self-worth is based in a man. Now, I am not saying if you are in a serious committed relationship or in a marriage, you can center your life around that man because that is a significant person in your life. I'm talking about women who are just out here single or casually dating or just having situationships and who are always centering their life around men. A lot of times they will do things for the male gaze and not because that's actually what they want to do. What are some examples of this? This includes women who show up on social media half naked all the time. Women who need to post videos of themselves shaking their butt in the camera and doing things to evoke sexual attention from men. Now, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with being sexy. Like, I enjoy wearing sexy dresses, outfits, posing in a, very seductive way, but never in a trashy, whorish way. So I want to make that very clear. There's a very distinct difference. There's a difference in being tasteful with your seduction and when you're literally just looking for male praise and validation. And other signs of someone who is focused too much on the male gaze are women who go certain places strictly for men and male attention. So that's your friend that never wants to go to dinner because she only values going out if that means that there are men around and men who have eyes for her. She never can just come to dinner with you and just have a dinner and a drink with you and talk. It's always about how can I go outside and be seen and just be lusted after. Her value is based in, is this man or are these men lusting after me, wanting me, seeking me? And even if their intentions aren't pure, even if they don't really like me for real and they just want me for my body, that's enough because I'm insecure and it makes me feel good. And the reason why I needed to break down what a woman who is focused on the male gaze looks like is because I know a lot of you can relate to having someone like this in your friend group or a family member, and you know what this looks like, right? And maybe for some of you, for a small few of you, you may have been this woman before. No shame in that. We love a reform queen. We love somebody who's changed their life around, right? But when you're a woman who isn't really doing things for the male gaze, so you're not on social media showing your ass in every picture, you're not looking for validation externally, you're not constantly doing things to be viewed as a sex symbol, right? As so many girls on social media are trying to do right now and are trying to pressure other girls into doing, or else you're not a bad bee, you're not cute, you're not an it girl. If you're not those things, the only opposite to that is you are self-centered, and not in the way that people think. So not in the way of like you're really just nasty and cruel and narcissistic. No. Being self-centered means that you are focused on you. You take pictures how you want to take pictures because you find them beautiful. You find them cute. You find them pretty. Not because there's men who follow you and you're trying to appeal to them and make them put googly eyes and hard eyes under your pictures. No. You're posting pictures how you want to post them. You wear a dress that may not be accentuating to your body, or you wear things that are more stylish as opposed to sexy, right? We all know what that looks like. So we know someone who really has really great style but may not accentuate their curves, or has really great style but is kind of covered up a little bit, or doesn't show, their panties and their behind, like a lot of these outfits do these days. You are tasteful with it. You have style and grace. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because a lot of times the toxic women who tend to do these things, who tend to be very male-centered, will have a problem with you and your self-centered self, because they don't understand how you can walk confidently in your authenticity and not feel the need to appease to men. A lot of these women are on social media for attention and attention only. And they know that they can get that by showing their body, by overly sexualizing themselves, by doing things and wearing things and talking about things and posting things that make men lust after them. And because you don't do that, those girls will either look at you as a nobody because, oh, you're not sexy, you're not a bad bee, you're not bad, or they will not like you, or they will subconsciously hate on you because they wish low-key that they could just be comfortable with themselves enough to post whatever they wanted. Also, part of them could be jealous of the fact that you genuinely don't seek male validation. So I remember when I was in high school and even in college, I really tried to lay under the radar. I knew that I pulled focus just from my face card alone, and I really didn't even have a body like that. I was very skinny, and I still got a lot of attention, but I dressed for me. I was a tomboy on some days. Other days I was really stylish and I would layer things and I would just play with my clothes, but I still got play from men. Like, guys were still interested in me and still thought I was beautiful and amazing. And I think it bothered some of the girls that didn't like me because they had to do a lot to be seen, to be admired, to be lusted after. When me, I wasn't really looking for it, but I was getting it naturally. And I think that's also why they are pressed over beautiful women who don't have to try so hard. A lot of people feel pressure to post certain ways these days because they know that that's what will get likes, that's what will get attention. But when you come along and you're genuinely a pretty face, nice body, but don't feel like you need to pose with your behind to the camera, suddenly it's like, we don't know how to feel about this girl. And what I will say is, ladies, modesty, to whatever degree it means for you, is very alluring to people. Whether society wants to admit it or not, men do like when you have some things to the imagination. I am in no way trying to teach you guys how to get a man. I'm just keeping it real with you in the sense that sometimes keeping things to the imagination for people is even more alluring than it just being fully out there in the open. I talked about this in a previous video, more so when it had to do with hair, where in this day and age, we're seeing a lot of people wearing weaves and stuff and lace fronts. So when you show up with your natural hair, you're going to stand out. Same thing with how you post on social media, or same thing with your clothing. If you don't post for the male gaze, if you post what you want to post and you're just having fun with it and it's carefree and it's lighthearted for you, but it's also genuine to you, and you're not doing it for the male gaze or for male attention, it's going to be even more interesting and intriguing to people, and sometimes even to men. It really is that you don't need to try so hard. You can easily pull focus, easily get attention. You are naturally beautiful, naturally gorgeous. And when you are blessed with those types of gifts when it comes to your beauty, you don't really need to do the most. And it's unfortunate that a lot of women out here feel like that's what they have to do in order to be received as somebody, received as an it girl, received as hot or sexy. I just want to encourage you all to remember to not feel like you need to center men in what you wear and how you do your hair and how you do your makeup and how you post and show up in this world. Everything should be about what feels comfortable and natural and good for you. So ladies, drop down in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts, of course. I'd love to have a conversation about this. And I'll also be leaving my email in the description box so you can share your stories with me there as well. Have a lovely day, ladies.